a Vanuatu tribe, worships a U.S. soldier as God. The cargo cults of Oceania are famous. Local tribes worship World War II cargo planes. These planes brought in supplies and food. The locals are trying to make them come back. But why does the Tanna Island tribe worship John Frum? And who is John Frum anyway? The story began during the war in the Pacific. American troops landed on many South Pacific islands. These islands were a starting point for invading Japan. Many of the local tribes had never seen Americans before, and they had no knowledge of technology. The tribes were amazed at the airplanes and their cargo. U.S. troops freely shared food and supplies. These manufactured goods caused a sensation. The local chiefs declared them divine gifts, and it changed their entire religious outlook. The John Frum cult actually began in the 1930s. John Frum was supposedly a messiah. He appeared to the chiefs with a promise. If they were faithful, he would return one day. He would drive away all white people. The islands would be restored to their former glory. In return, the locals had to reject money and Christianity. Nobody knows who John Frum really was. It was possibly a corruption of the phrase, John from America. In 1941, Tanna Islanders left the local Christian missions. They rid themselves of their money in a frenzy of spending. They refused to attend missionary schools. European colonial leaders tried to suppress the new movement, but they were unsuccessful. And then the American GIs arrived. This seemed like a prophecy fulfilled. The Americans had cargo, precious gifts like tools and weapons. Vanuatuan society was founded on gift exchange. Gifts ensured political influence, power, and prestige. Radios, telephones, refrigerators, rifles, all this was alien to the locals. But they loved it. The Americans also built airstrips for their planes. The locals observed it, all in awe, taking it in. Unlike European settlers, the Americans were friendly. They didn't make anyone go to school or church. They shared their miraculous food and technology. Melanesians learned of Roosevelt, the King of America. They expected him to bring in a new era. But in 1945, the miracles came to an end. The war was over, and the Americans left. They left behind them numerous surplus goods. Transporting them back to the U.S. would have been too costly, but they were priceless to the people of Vanuatu. The precious cargo was soon depleted. That's when the Tanna natives started devising new rituals. They built symbolic landing strips and radio towers. The tribesmen hoped these would attract new cargo. As the years went by, the John Frum cult changed. It became an established religion with its own rituals. In 1957, the Peaceful Tanna Army was created. It's a ritualistic society that organizes military-style parades. Tanna men paint the word USA on their chests. They march with wooden stakes made to resemble rifles. The parade takes place each year on February 15th. This is the prophesied date of John Frum's return.